Hey, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. So one of the things that a lot of our clients struggle with and need our help is when they're doing lead gen, and we talk to them about migrating from tracking conversion volume and focusing bidding on that versus using conversion value and running value-based bidding. And this is an evolution that the industry is going through where we're trying to change the focus on just getting a volume or maximizing the volume of leads to actually addressing the quality of leads and focusing on that. And again, this can be very difficult for clients to transition because they may not have a sense of what the lifetime value of their clients are. They may have a long lead time to conversion period. If it's outside of 90 days, you can't go back and upload offline conversions or adjust the initial value. And otherwise, there could be a lot of plumbing involved in automating the tracking of values for leads. So what we do with our clients in some cases is kind of dip a toe in the water and use kind of a simplified approach to just at least start optimizing for conversion value or at least perceived conversion value. So what I'm going to show you today is kind of a really simplistic approach to optimizing for the different conversion goals you may already have in your account. And I'm just going to walk through kind of how you would crunch some numbers quickly and come up with some default fixed values per conversion. So all I've done here is I've taken 3 months of conversions for each of the conversion goals you may have in your Google Ads account, and those are call extensions, right? These are calls that come in directly from ads or call-only campaigns. Website phone calls, these would be calls that come in from the website. And you can track those either with Google Ads, although their system's pretty basic, or a service like CallRail, which is much more robust. Your quote request form, which would be, somebody, asking for an actual price on your service. A contact form, which would be a little more general, like if somebody makes their way to the contact form and just submits like a generic request. And then chatbot interactions, where somebody uses the chat box on your website and actually it completes a chat with like a live person at your business, or it could be automated. And it really doesn't matter here for this exercise. But basically, we've broken them out, and then what we've done is we've just totaled them up for each of 3 months, so July, August, September. This could be any period of time, but you want to collect as much data as reasonably possible to get more accurate with this. So I've just totaled these up, right? So we have 317 conversions, and these are the quantities per conversion goal. And then what I've done is I've gone in and I figured out of these conversion goals, how many qualified leads did we get? And there can be different ways to do that, but basically anytime you get a lead in, if you have a CRM or some kind of tracking system, you just want to identify what the source was and whether or not it was a qualified lead. And so we're not going to worry about if it turned into a sale or what the potential value was or anything like that. Was it qualified, yes or no? And so with that, I can just use like a dummy calculation where all I do here is I just divide the total number of conversions by the qualified leads per conversion goal, and I come up with a number, which is actually a percentage. And I multiply it by 100 because I like kind of whole bigger numbers. And so what this gives you is essentially the relative value by conversion goal type, right? So call extensions, $28.57. Website phone calls, $23.48, and so on. And we can see very quickly that, our qualified lead rate by conversion, the quote request form, is significantly higher than everything else. And so again, the raw number here is not important because Google Ads is not an accounting system. What we care about is the relative value of each conversion goal. And so once we have this, we can go back into Google Ads and we can apply this as fixed values for each of the conversions. And then we can switch it up. We could even just use, manual bidding and just optimize for conversion value. But where the real power is using switching from like CPA or max conversions bidding to max conversion value or target ROAS. And so what Google can do then is not only optimize for keywords and maybe, audiences and devices, but the thousands of other signals that are in the background that we never get to see. So you can very quickly, improve your overall campaign performance by seeing a better quality of lead coming through from your prospects. And that number can often be pretty big. We haven't done any type of analysis on this, but clearly, you're going to get a better quality of lead, and your budget is going to be spent to drive better performance. So again, this is a really simple kind of basic implementation, nothing fancy. You don't need to, do any kind of special integration. You just have to count the conversions and the leads that you already have, put them in a spreadsheet, come up with these numbers, and you are done. So hopefully some of you that have been kind of struggling to get started with value-based bidding will try something like this, and you will see that your performance improves and you'll get a better sense of, what's actually driving qualified leads for your business rather than just more conversions. All right, that's it for today. I will see you next time.